Did you know that this classroom is a house and we are a family? You are all brothers and sisters, and I'm Mama Jones. So, right now, we're about to meet and greet one another. Everyone will say their name, something they like, and a goal they have for this brand new school year. For example, you might say, "Hi, my name is," then something about yourself I really like. And finally, one of my goals for this year as a second grader is classmates that are listening are going to show respect. And once the first person is finished speaking, we're going to say, "Nice to meet you," and say their name. After each person introduces themselves, the class will say, "Nice to meet you," and then say that person's name. Students, it is very important that we respect one another when someone is speaking. Respect just means to be considerate. We need to listen and not to be rude. So we are all going to listen carefully until everyone is finished. I'm going to be watching to see who is a good listener and who knows how to show respect. Let's give it a try. I'll go first. Remember, you're going to say your name, something about yourself, and one of your goals for the year. Do you know what else is really important? It's really important to shine. What do you think I mean when I say it's important to shine? Think about what you're doing right now. You have been called to the carpet. When I say shine, that simply means S, you need to sit up straight. H, you need to keep your hands folded in your lap. I, you need to stay in your own space. N, there is to be no noise. And E, your eyes are to remain on the speaker. What better way to show respect than to shine? Let's see if you remember what the letters in shine stand for when it comes to expectations when sitting on the carpet as a second grade soaring eagle. So how did you do? Did you remember shine? S means to sit up straight. H, keep your hands folded in your lap. I, remain in your own space. N, there is no noise. And finally, E, keep your eyes on the speaker. Now you know how to show respect in Miss Jones' second grade classroom when sitting on the carpet. You can also shine throughout the day in many other ways. If you have a question, what should you do? You should make sure to raise your hand. Blurting out is not allowed in second grade. Let's shine by remembering to raise our hand. So, did you know that with every new year should come a new attitude? You know what? I want and I expect leaders in my classroom because in second grade, students are held accountable. That means you have to be responsible for your actions. You have to be leaders for the school and responsible for the decisions that you choose to make. Do you know what expectations are? Those are the things that I expect to have happen without any exceptions, questions, or excuses. And there are a lot of things that I expect from this class. There might have been things that may have happened in first grade, but we will not tolerate certain things in second grade. We have to keep a second grade frame of mind. Being that we are leaders, we must demonstrate that behavior on a daily basis. As a second grade Eagle leader, you are accountable for your actions. I don't want to hear that someone else calls you to do something. Well, he made me do it or she made me do it. No, no, no. You are accountable for your actions. That means you are responsible for what you do. No one can make you do anything. Another expectation I have is when it comes to speaking with adults. As second grade soaring eagles, you have to represent yourself positively everywhere you go in this building. If I send you out of the classroom to run an errand or to do something for me, if you need to interrupt any adult At any time, I expect my students to show courtesy. And courtesy just means I expect you to be polite and I expect you to have good manners and show respect. Even if it looks like the person is not busy, you need to say, "Excuse me." Or another way I like to hear it said is, "Please excuse the interruption." That shows a great deal of respect. Tell them what you have to say, and then when you finish saying what you had to say, make sure to say thank you and have a nice day. I also have high expectations when it comes time for my students to speak with any adult. If I send you out of the classroom to do something for me and you run into an adult, or if you see an adult at any time, you will answer any adult using yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, if it's a woman, and yes, sir, no, sir, if it's a man. We are young ladies and young gentlemen in this classroom, and we will behave ourselves as such. Respect goes a long way. Another expectation I have is when an adult enters my classroom and I am speaking with an adult, what do you think you should do? That's exactly right. It's time for you to shine. You need to sit quietly and wait until I'm finished speaking. I expect you to demonstrate second grade behavior by sitting quietly, showing respect while I speak to the other adult. Guess what another expectation I have is? It's a word called approach. Let me hear you say that. Approach. If you have a question, we know what to do, of course. We know to raise our hand because that's how we shine to get someone's attention. But if you would like to come to me for something where you need to get up and come to Miss Jones, you need to raise your hand, and when I call you, you don't just get up. You need to say, "May I approach?" And that word approach just simply means, "May I come to you?" No one is to get up without getting permission to approach first. Another expectation I have deals with what I expect to see when you come in the classrooms in the morning. That's called our morning procedure. You are accountable once again for your actions, and yes, I have high expectations. Second graders are expected to come into the classroom, find their cubbies, and put their belongings away. Belongings just mean your property, your things, your stuff. You put it away neatly. This is not a talking time. When you come in the morning and you're handling your business and putting your belongings away, this is something that should be done quietly and in an orderly fashion, meaning that the area should not be crowded, and if someone is in front of you, we know how to wait patiently until they finish before we do what we need to do. I do not want book bags, coats, lunch boxes, jackets, or anything else on the floor or tables. You each have a cubby, and your materials are expected to be neatly put away every day. In my classroom, we have what we call the voice volume chart, where we have 3 levels for our voice volume. Volume meaning how loud you're allowed to be. Either 0, which is completely quiet, 1, which is a whisper, or 2, where you talk normally. When you come in the morning, your voice volume is always set to 0, meaning that you are completely quiet. Once again, coming in the morning, your voice volume is set to what? 0. As you can see up front, we also have a helper board. Now that you are in second grade, you must have more responsibilities. Your responsibilities are your duties and things that you are accountable for. It is definitely not up to me to be in charge of everything. I'm only one person. I need your help. Just like in your family at home, you have things that you have to do. chores and responsibilities? Like I said, this is our house. We are a family, and I need your help. You are accountable for your classroom environment and helping your teacher. Just like you have things that you're expected to do, you have jobs here at school. These responsibilities will rotate or change once a week. Whatever job you have at the beginning of the week, you will keep it until the end of the week on Friday. By the next Monday of the next week, you will have a new job. I will discuss each of these jobs with you in a moment. It is important to do the things expected of you so you will be allowed to maintain your responsibilities as a second grade classroom helper. You need to remember to always be a soaring eagle leader. Being a helper is a privilege to those who demonstrate the behavior of a second grade leader. What do you think will happen if you decide not to demonstrate leadership behavior? If you're not demonstrating second grade behavior, you will lose your job for the day. If you do not get yourself together by the next day, you will lose your job for the week. If I feel you are not doing your best to demonstrate second grade behavior, you will be removed from the helper board and will not be allowed to have a job again until your behavior changes. I don't see this happening this year, but it's important that you know what happens when you don't meet the expectations set. Since we know how to be eagle leaders, we should know how to share as well. In this classroom, it is not about I, or me. We have community property in this classroom. Community property just means we put together our resources or things that we need to use on a daily basis and we share with one another. Think about when you were just working at your table with those crayons. Those are not just one person's crayons. We share our belongings. We share supplies, and no one needs a pencil box all by themselves because whatever we have in this class, we use it together. You know what else is very important for you to know about? And I'm sure you already know about the Eagle Buck system. This year, I have an expectation that every Eagle Buck celebration, all of my students will be attending because we are going to be Soaring Eagle leaders throughout the entire year. Your goal is to earn all 20 of your Eagle Bucks every day. We're going to talk a lot more about expectations and what it means to earn your 20 Eagle Bucks and what I expect to see. But for right now, I just want you to know that I am so excited to have you in my class this year, and I can't wait to watch you soar. Second grade Eagle leaders, here we go. Welcome to my classroom. Together, together, together.